you see from this Monroe team? Looks like they've got a lot of playmakers.
They do.
Yeah.
A lot of speed, a lot of skill, veteran offensive line. Set a bunch of, standards last year in FBS and offense. And so really high level of offense, great scheme, great play calling, and really some skilled guys. And again, veteran offensive line. So we've got our work cut out for us.
In some ways, do they look like what you guys are facing fall camp with at least the RPO and stuff?
Yeah, it's similar. I think it's still, there's a lot of different, variations to what they're doing for sure.
Coach Campbell had said he kind of laughs when he hears generating turnovers is partially luck, that you kind of create your own luck when it comes to that. Do you feel like you guys are close to kind of starting to get those?
Yeah, we are. I mean, we had a couple what we call, mops, missed opportunities the other night and the other afternoon. I guess it was night, the way the game went. But we had some mops, and those are some scenarios that you get opportunities, and we got to make them. And it's just like making plays and all those kind of things. We work on it every day, and it'll come around. Our guys will get their hands on it, and we'll get the ball out. And we had some great, opportunities in there, and some guys working at trying to punch the ball out and stripping the ball, and that was very obvious in the film. And you play a team that doesn't turn it over a bunch, and you really have to work hard at it. But when you get your chances, you got to take advantage, and we weren't able to capitalize on two of those.
Does that give you hope that at least you're
Oh,
getting
I've
close?
always got. We had some opportunities in the other games too, and you just got to make the catches, and our guys will. We'll continue to work at it, and the one thing you can't do about that kind of stuff is panic. You just got to go out there, relax, and play, and they'll happen.
You guys went pretty deep into your defensive rotation on Saturday too. Was that part of the longevity of the day, or was it something you wanted to do going?
No, we're trying to do that. I think we've got a long road ahead, and those guys those kids that are in there playing have earned the right to do that. So if they're out there and they've earned our trust, we're putting them in the game.
How do you feel about guys like Bobby and Amici played a little bit more?
Sure.
DJ Miller, obviously.
Yeah,
too.
those guys are, again, they practiced well, and so then they get opportunities to play.
How did Greg
defense
Eisworth?
is doing anything to Jaquan? Anything?
I don't think so. I mean, we've just had the 2 games, so I don't know that you notice a bunch. We've got to find some ways to help them out a little bit, I think, too. I think that's on coaching, that's on me. But no, I don't think a whole bunch different than what we've seen. We saw a little bit a year ago, but I don't think so far in the season, as far as, really doing that. But it's going to happen at some point here.
Talked about those young guys earning trust. How was it that Greg Eisworth earned so much trust so quickly when he got here?
I think just who he is, work habits and work ethic, and picking up, not making missed assignments, not making missed tackles, and that's how you do it. It's not, there's no real secret to it. It's being able to go out there and practice and do your job, and and when you do it every single day, then you earn trust. And I think that's among the players too.
How's he grown from last year to this year?
Oh, a ton. I think he's learned to defend. He's playing a completely different position, and I just think he's grown up, and he's a better player at that position than he was a year ago. He's had another year in the weight room, another year of training, and the weight room and Rudy and those guys down there have done a great job with him, and nutrition and all that stuff.
How much do the guys on the just defensive side of the ball, I guess, flock to him in terms of just following his lead?
Well, he's one of the captains, so I think that says, I think he got voted captain, so I think that says that those guys are paying attention to him for sure.
I think the only thing Coach Campbell's brought up maybe negative about the defense Saturday was maybe third downs. What's the balance of, is a lot of it just trying to force more third and longs, or what's the difficulty?
I think precision. I think we talk about it. I think we talk about being, and when it's critical situations, you've got to be right on the money, and we weren't at times. And when you're not, and you're playing good football teams, which we play, you have to be right on the money in critical situations, and we weren't. And we've talked about that. We're trying to address it, trying to create more chaos in practice, trying to do all those things that you possibly can do. But it still comes down that when it's the most critical situation, you have to be precise. And we just weren't. We were a little bit off. And when you're a little bit off, it goes the other way.
You guys used 3 different fronts on Saturday. I think 3-3, 4-3, and they even used a 3-4 for the first time, I think. Is that something that you're going to keep doing, or how much would we see those formations going forward?
We'll probably see them. Probably see them.
What situational advantages do they create?
Well, I think it's really, a lot of it's determined by what the offense does, in fairness. I mean, what they present, and we've got to try to find some different avenues, and everybody's presenting some different stuff. So far in the first 2 games, we've seen some different things that, again, people are now studying every second of what we're doing, and we have to be proactive, and we have been, and I'm really excited. The stuff that we really substituted into the other night was really, really good for us. So I'm really, I feel really good about that stuff. It wasn't stuff we just created, and it wasn't worth a darn. It worked pretty well for us.
What is that communication like when a team's throwing something at you that maybe they're trying to do something different because of what you do in game? Like, how are you trying to figure that out so
Well,
quickly?
I mean, I'm really blessed. Our guys in the box, DK and Tyson and Eli, I mean, we've been together, Coach Capone, we've been together, for a long time. And so, it's pretty controlled. Here's what's going on, here's what we have to do, here's how we can fix it. And I think that's the communication. And I think, again, we're blessed that we've all been together. There's no egos. I just want help. I want to know what's the best thing we can be doing, and those guys all provide it by their position and an overall picture for our defense. So I think the communication was really good, and that's what it has to be. And it has to be every game. It was the same a year ago. I mean, we see different things that teams don't do against everybody else, and that's okay. I was at West Point way back in the 90s, and those guys never knew what defense they were going to see as an offense because it was the wishbone. And we're a little bit that way too on our side of the ball right now. We're not sure exactly what we're going to see.
Do you remember coaching against Viator? I think.
Yeah, I do.
way back then?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just, again, obviously being coaches and that kind of thing and opponents, but for sure. Yep.
Is third down the only maybe detail area in which you
Well,
guys are struggling a little bit?
Yeah, I just think the precision, again, that's the precision of that. We missed some tackles the other night. We can't miss against good football teams, which we play. Had some missed assignments in some critical situations, which we can't have. So it was, had some bad calls by the defensive coordinator, which we can't have. So all those things have an impact on that game when it's that kind of game, and that's the games we're in here at Iowa State and in our conference and with the people that we play, for sure.